What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the Nerdgasm. I'm going to talk and give you guys my review of Knock at the Cabin, which is the latest M. Night Shyamalan movie, which is based on the 2018 novel The Cabin at the End of the Woods.
Okay. I was wondering if it had a relation to that.
Yes, it is.
Gotcha.
It stars Dave Bautista, who decided to say, I don't want to be an action star anymore. I want to be an actor.
Now, I've heard of someone said he's the best wrestler turned actor. Do you feel like that's true?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I do agree. I think it goes when it comes to acting, I think it goes Bautista, Cena, Rock.
Okay.
And the reason why I have, do I enjoy The Rock's acting? Yes, but The Rock is the same. Look, I appreciate The Rock taking Hollywood, as he said, and grabbed it by the balls. Mm-hmm. Because in the beginning, when The Rock was acting, The Rock was typecast. It was like who are you? And The Rock was like, no, dude, I'm a Samoan, I'm a black guy, and I'm a huge black guy, and I want to do stuff that is related to me. And ever since then, in all his movie parts, he's either a big ass black dude or a big ass Samoan dude who just is invincible. That's just that's just his role. If you look at Rampage, he's David Okoye. Africa who? Because
I didn't believe that one bit.
I'm saying exactly, but then in Hobbs and Shaw, you know what I'm saying, he does his Samoan side. But then you can look at Ballers and he does his black side. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he does things, and I'm proud of him for doing that. But the problem is he's the same person in all his movies. Whereas Batista is like, I can show you range.
Right.
I can do Drax, but I can also do Glass Onion, but I can also do Knock at the Cabin. Whereas even Cena has found his niche, like, okay, I can do serious, but I can also do comedy.
Right.
You know, and they say, I have not seen Dwayne expand past anything but the big action star. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I go with it. Especially after seeing this movie, I do believe Batista's the best one.
Gotcha.
Because this movie centers around a gay couple with their adopted Asian daughter, and they are going on this trip, and then they are in the woods.
I'm sorry, I just in my head I was like, is this a Modern Family spinoff?
A Modern Family. And they are going in. They're in the woods, and then when the daughter's out there collecting crickets, a man named Leonard comes up to her. Frightening thing, okay? I'm telling you, but he is the most peaceful giant in this movie.
That's Dave Bautista?
Yes, he plays the character of Leonard.
Gotcha.
And him and his other people that's working with him, which include Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. Mm. Yes, he plays in there. It's Sabrina, Wynn, and is it Audrey? No. Redmond, Wynn. No, not Wynn. Sabrina and Audrey. I believe are they come with him. They chase this girl back to the cabin, break into the cabin, and tell this gay couple that in order to prevent the apocalypse, somebody out of the three of you has to die. If none of you die, and y'all don't make a choice, you will be forced to watch Armageddon. You will be the last street here on Earth. That's how this thing starts off.
So I remember that in the trailer. I forgot what movie I saw. the trailer for it, but I was like, okay, that's random.
So what I'm gonna do in this review here is I'm gonna do like I simply do, the good, some of the bad, and some of the spoilers. Mm-hmm. Also, because I don't want to sit there and go break by break with all this stuff this movie's about. So,
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think the one thing about the good is the tension in the beginning, because you don't know what these four really want. Mm-hmm. Throughout the beginning of the movie, you're sitting there thinking like, are they lying, or are they telling the truth?
Right.
If they are telling the truth, prove it. But when you prove it, do I really believe you? There's so many conflicting questions there.
Right. M. Night Shyamalan does that very well, especially in the beginning of a movie.
Yes.
He really gets tension really good.
Yes. He and the gay couple, at the beginning it's just like, okay, they have a natural type of reaction to this. Like, we don't really believe you or what's going on. And I think they do a good job at it as well. And so in the beginning of the movie, it actually, I would say that first 2 acts, you really be on the edge of your seat because he really brings attention.
Right.
He really does. And it's like, and you don't, and then there are certain actions, when I'll get into the whole the spoiler part, that happen. You're like, okay, did not see that coming. And then you're sitting there like, oh, are these people truly crazy? And the thing is, Leonard, who's like Batista, who's the leader of this whole thing, is the most soft-spoken person that there is. He's a school teacher. And they all claim that they have gotten these visions of the apocalypse, and they all brought together. And the one thing is, they truly, especially Leonard, don't want to be there.
Right.
But it feels though that they were chosen to be there. And each time that they, when they ask them the question of who's going to die, you got to make the choice. Every time they reject to make a choice, thousands of people somewhere in the world just perished. Whether it be through a tsunami, earthquake, volcano, whatever the case may be, they get wiped out, because they even turn on the TV and see it on the news that these people are getting wiped out every time they choose not to answer.
Right.
So I was into it, actually, because I was like, I haven't really been invested into a Shyamalan movie like this and Split.
Right.
Because I have questions in the beginning, when it comes to some of the things that I feel as though suffer in the movie, it's the things I said before we was talking about Glass and all that stuff, is Shyamalan can be dated.
Right.
And the way he has his characters written, or the way that he feels as though that the world works, I feel as though like this is dated. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, it's like, everybody don't act like this. Or people probably won't respond like this, or this is not, or there's a different way that you could have done it, because there are certain things in there that it's like, this is really getting me invested, and then there'll be something else that will happen, and you're like, okay, I'm kind of taken out of it right now.
Right.
And he has that issue in this movie. I can't lie and say he had an issue into the movie. And the funny thing is, it's a simple movie. Whereas, I think what helps saves this movie is that the twist is not an elaborate twist.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's not, because there are some movies like, have you ever seen Old?
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
Okay. That twist, I was like, this is elaborate. So it's like, to the point where it's just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it was too much.
Yeah. This one here is that actually, you can look at it as a twist, but it really is none. It's kind of straightforward. And then you kind of want to know, like, is that it? Or, because I think a lot of times with Shyamalan movies, when you go in there, you're trying to, from the start, follow everything so you can try to solve the twist before it gets there.
Right.
This one, it's just that he has you just like get caught up in the movie to the point where you're not even thinking about it.
Right.
And I thought, that is kind of a positive for it. When it comes to real quick, I'll just get into some small spoilers here. So the I guess you want to call it the twist kind of thing is these are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. They're coming here and they're going on this couple to make this thing. So they each have a colored shirt on that represents that version of the horseman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and after one of them, after they have asked you to make a choice, and they reject it, one of the horsemen gets down on the ground, and they brutally kill them.
All right.
To the point where it's just like, and when it comes to the couple, one of them doesn't believe in anything that they're saying, even after they're brutally murdering one of their horsemen right in front of them. And they get like in a trance when they're doing the murder, and when they get back, they go back to being like, I guess you want to call them normal people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the husbands in the couple, he has a vision. He like sees something when one of the horsemen is about to be killed, and he's talking about his life and things like that, and he wants to sacrifice himself, so that his husband and their daughter can live on, because people aren't dying by the minute. It's getting closer and closer to them.
Right.
But that's what I was saying, because every time they say this, he turns on the TV, and when he turns on the TV that takes you out of it.
Right.
Because you're like, I don't think the news will record apocalypses like this.
Right.
When they have the tsunami, and then you got the cameraman that's holding it, standing right there as the tsunami's coming, and then it hits him, and then like the camera's so floating in the water. I'm just like, what the hell? And they ain't saying shit about this. I don't think that's how it goes. First of all, you wouldn't be standing there in the first place.
Right.
The stuff is kind of dated in a way. Long story short, that each horseman ends up dying, but they all have a story where they're saying like, Batista is a school teacher. The black woman is a kind of like I don't want to call her religious nut, but she's one of them evangelist type people. Then you have the other Hispanic woman who has a son that will die if they don't listen to their order. And then Ron Weasley from Harry Potter is a bigot. Why am I not surprised? And what I'm saying? And it's just that, and he actually commits a crime against one of the gay husbands in a bar, like one of them hate crimes towards him, and then he ends up recognizing him. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, is that meant to be deeper, or why was that in there, in the first place? Because it threw me off, in a way. But they all end up dying, and at the end, Batista slits his wrist, and he was just like, you know what, you only have this amount of minutes before the world ends, and you had to sit there and watch, and you will only be the last people left on Earth. And they target them because of, I guess, how happy the couple is and how much they have embraced life and stuff like that. I was like, kind of cheesy, but sure. Yeah. Whatever.
You want to see no one happy.
Yeah. But what does end up happening is one of the couple, the guy who didn't believe anything was going on, he does end up killing his partner. Yeah, and end up saving the apocalypse from happening. And
so if all the 4 horsemen are dead, does that mean another apocalypse is not coming?
This is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's like, it's like some people may say, I kind of want the twist to be in here, or maybe they were just batshit crazy and you just never know, or maybe that the gay couple was the actual apocalypse. Like, who knows, right? But it was pretty much just straightforward to that, and
because I'm very in depth with the Four Horsemen of because they're like the main antagonists in Chainsaw Man right now. So I'm I like try to study them to figure out like. So as you're saying, I'm trying to figure like in my head I'm like, did the partner become one of the Four Horsemen now? Mm-hmm. So that it's one of those movies that's going to make me overthink.
Yeah. And it's just, it was just a thing because after he reluctantly, because you're going to have questions, especially, this movie is very religious heavy. Very religious heavy. Mm-hmm. And after, he sacrifices his husband and they go to the visitor's truck, they find different belongings that collaborates the stories that they were trying to say. Because they were trying to tell them that, look, hey, we real people, we got these visions, and this is something that we don't want to do, but we have to do to prevent the apocalypse from happening. Right. And I was just like, well, it wasn't a great sales pitch, but, it happened. And then it's like, because lightning was about to strike the cabin, and then it didn't do that on fire. Then they drove down into town, and they see everybody in this crowded diner watching that all the stuff that was causing all this have subsided. I was like, see, that kind of stuff. Every time the TV comes on, Shyamalan is doing his worst. And I was like, you know what? This could have been a hell of a better movie. You just shut them damn TVs off. However, it's not a bad Shyamalan movie. Mm-hmm. It ain't one of the best Shyamalan movies, but I would actually give it like a hashtag, give it a chance. Okay. I liked it better than Old. Okay. And the thing is, I didn't hate Old, but I was just like, I don't like that twisted Old. Right. And I think it's just a little bit too much going on. I think Shyamalan really needs to just take a walk outside and realize what the hell is going on, and those kind of things. So that's my thoughts on it. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell everybody, hey, go out there and see it. Like y'all can wait till streaming services. Say for this to come out. That's what I did with Old.
I mean, I might. I don't know. It was something I wasn't interested to begin with, so